Your chair now recognizes our good friend from Texas, Mr. Pfluger.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity to wave on. Mr. Crabtree, good to see you again. I'll start by saying I think the American public spoke pretty loud and clear on November 5th. This is a great hearing, but we also have a mandate from the American public to actually unleash American energy. And that was at the top of the ballot, I believe, in every state. I want to get into some specifics, and I'll start by saying, was any analysis conducted by the administration prior to the January 26th announcement, specifically between January 1st, 2023 and October 31st of 2023? And how was it determined, that is, based on what specific factors and evidence, that an updated study was actually needed?
Yes, Congressman, good to see you again. Thank you for that question. You were not here, but earlier I explained that we actually began work on the update in the time frame largely that you suggest. The discussions were actually going on with the career team when I was confirmed and started my work. Those discussions began in earnest in 2023. The thing that I think has been misrepresented in some of the news coverage and comments that have been made is that the analysis is multifaceted. The labs we're working with and the team we have at DOE are working on, there's the domestic GDP and price impacts. There are environmental impacts, both greenhouse gas emissions and other environmental impacts. There's a whole range of things that we're looking at. Each of those areas has its own modeling and its own quantitative and qualitative analysis. So in 2023, there were work products being developed that were not a complete study, but that were part of the process that's been ongoing since then.
Let me jump to that. Have the DOE leadership or anyone in the White House received any reports or results, even if preliminary, of the export study conducted during those first 10 months that you're referring to? And did those reports conclude that there is no credible basis to restrict LNG exports? Is that what the initial report said, that there's no reason to restrict exports?
No, that was not what those reports.
So they said we do need to restrict.
There wasn't a report. There were
but
different
preliminary
work
information
products.
From the.
Yes, you could not derive that conclusion from that work.
Okay, so was there a conclusion derived that said to the president or the administration that you should restrict LNG?
No, nor was there one that we should increase it. It was not definitive in that way.
Okay. Let me move to the White House involvement.
Sir, I would say it's an iterative process like most modeling and analysis is. We agreed on assumptions as a team. We worked with our labs on an iterative basis. That's how DOE has done its analysis for years. And I just have to make this point. Across presidential administrations, DOE has been respected as one of the most significant scientific and technical organizations in the world. And when the study comes out mid-December, I think you will agree that this study is very consistent with that tradition.
I think our problem, and the reason that this hearing is probably being held today, is because that science seems to have been departed from, especially when considering the public interest and whether or not it is in the public interest to export LNG when every country around the world is asking for it. The Howarth study, I know my friend Mr. Fry was discussing this. Does DOE reject Howarth's findings?
Our methodology is fundamentally different from that of Mr. Howarth. I had said earlier, I don't know if you were in the room, that our National Energy Technology Lab Life Cycle Analysis team is one of the most distinguished in the world. The work that you will see mid-December for the life cycle analysis is their work. And the work of Mr. Howarth played no role in our decision to proceed with the analysis. And I would note again for the committee that there is a robust debate in the academic life cycle analysis community, as there are in many other academic communities. But DOE and its labs and the career staff do their own work, sir.
So can you say that you reject Howarth's findings?
No, I'm not going to make comments like that because the analysis is coming out mid-December, and I want all of you, industry, environmental organizations, the American public, to evaluate the study as the study when it's publicly available and not based on piecemeal on my comments.
Has the White House directed DOE to finalize the study before January 20th?
No, we committed all along to have this.
So it was Secretary Granholm did this of her own ambition, and the president never asked her to do this?
That's correct.
So I asked her about a year ago if she was the principal advisor to the President of the United States on energy matters, and she could not conclusively say that she was. So who else has led in this study? Can you name the names in Department of Energy?
My answer was not in reference to that. It was in reference to this study. And what I'm telling you is Secretary Granholm is the one who made the decision to undertake the update.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yield back.